Yep, probably what's going on at your apartment too. Hearing the neighbors, it's annoying. Let's do something about it. Today I'm going to show you how to reduce that noise for, let's say, under $50. Renter friendly, of course. No drywall, no construction, and these are things that people actually use in apartments that can make a real difference. Because an apartment, you usually don't need a massive overhaul. You just need to fix the 2 or 3 biggest sound leaks. But before we start, let's get something straight, because this is what causes the most confusion when it comes to soundproofing. Acoustic foam panels, like the one behind me. They don't block any sound. They don't stop your neighbor's TV from coming in. They don't stop hallway noise. All foam and panels will do is absorb the echo inside your room. That's why podcasters, even YouTubers use it. It makes the room sound a lot better, but it doesn't keep any noise out from coming in the room. Soundproofing is about sealing gaps, stopping air leaks, and adding density. Foam, it does none of that. So don't waste your $50 on foam if the problem is your neighbors. And if you live in an apartment, this is something you don't really think about until the power actually goes out, but you literally cannot run a gas generator where you live. The rules don't allow it. It's too dangerous, and even if it was allowed, nobody wants to deal with gas fumes on a tiny balcony. So this right here is where the EcoFlow Delta 3 Max portable power station comes into play. This is basically a silent electric generator you can keep indoors. No fumes, no gas, nothing to vent, and it's quiet enough to actually use inside without bothering anybody. And the Delta 3 Max has real backup power, not just phone charging. Depending on the load, you can run actual appliances like your refrigerator, coffee maker, even a microwave. Things you would realistically want during a power outage. Plus, what's good is you can charge it with solar. So if the power's out all day, you can top this back up from the sun for free, which basically turns a power outage into a no big deal situation. So if you're an apartment dweller, this is realistically the only way to have safe, quiet backup power. And with the winter coming, that's when this kind of thing really matters. When the power goes out in the middle of summer, it's annoying, but when it happens in January, it's a whole different story. Being able to run a small space heater, a few lights, your Wi-Fi, and maybe even your TV can make a big difference between just being uncomfortable and actually freezing. And honestly, that's all most people need during a power outage. A bit of warmth, some light, and something to watch while you wait for the power to come back on. During Black Friday, EcoFlow is offering its deepest discounts of the year with up to 80% off and up to 30% off residential solar tax credits in the US, possibly ending this December. Now's really the best time to think about backup power for your home and family. Don't wait for the next storm warning. Even if prices drop, you won't miss out. EcoFlow offers a 30-day price match guarantee throughout Black Friday, because gas generators are of course not allowed, and since Black Friday is coming up, these little puppies are going to go on sale for quite a good discount. So go grab yours. I'll have a link in the description below of this very unit so you can go grab one yourself. And even if you don't want to use it in an apartment, it's a great tailgating backup power unit. All right, so now let's fix the leaks we can actually reach. And the biggest leak in apartments are the door. Most people will grab a cheap peel and stick foam weather strip, and that works if the door stays closed most of the time, like a closet door or a room that is barely used. But if it's your main entrance door and you open and close that thing all day long, that peel and stick eventually loosens and ends up with gaps all over again. So instead, the better option is the solid silicone perimeter gasket that screws in. It's like installing a curtain rod, 6 tiny screw holes, and then when you move out, you can patch those holes in 40 seconds with a dab of spackle. The difference is that silicone seal actually will compress against the door all the way around. So when the door closes, it actually seals it, not kinda seals it. And what's nice is a one size fits all, and a pair of utility knife will easily make it the size you need. Now, let's fix that bottom gap, because most of the hallway noise doesn't come through the wall. It leaks straight from under the entry door. So for the main apartment door, the one that leads to the hallway, I like using metal sweep with the rubber gasket. They're more durable. You see these on hotel doors, condo doors, and they seal tighter against the floor. If you also want to quiet down a different room inside the apartment, like your bedroom or office, that's where the plastic U-shaped door sweep is great. Those clamps onto the bottom of the door, renter friendly, and you can just cut them to size. But for the entry door, the metal rubber gasket style seals a lot better and will also last longer. And one more thing you can try, especially if the noise is coming from the hallway, are those thermal insulated door panels you can get on Amazon. They're usually around 50 bucks when they go on sale, and a lot of people swears by them for blocking hallway noise. They look like a quilted blanket that covers the whole door. One thing I noticed, it's one of the best-selling products of 2024 on my storefront. If you've tried one of these, let me know in the comments below, because I'm curious how much difference it made for you. I'll have links in the description below of everything I talk about in this video to make it a lot easier for you to go out and purchase. Alright, now if your noise is coming from outside, or your window faces traffic or a busy courtyard, the next week's point is the window. Sealing with a gasket where the window actually closes, not around the outside trim. The gasket part is the leak path. You can check this in 2 seconds. Just run your fingers along the gasket and feel for spots that don't touch tight. That is where the noise is coming in. Or if you see a draft, you can even put a candle or a match, and if you see it blow, that's where your noise is coming in. You can also use curtains. They're not all equal. Thin decorative curtains do basically nothing. What actually helps a bit is density. Thick blackout curtains, insulated winter curtains, or even a heavy shower curtain liner behind your curtains that are already there. The heavier the panel, the more resistance you add to the noise path. But let's be honest, curtains are more for sound deadening, not true sound blocking, but they can soften some of the traffic noise or courtyard noise before it enters the room. And that's basically what you can do to the window for around $50. Now, if the noise is coming from the shared wall, the one directly between you and your neighbor, and you can't really, well, you can't open the wall or do any construction, one of the best renter-friendly tricks is, well, to put a big bookcase against that wall, like a Billy-style shelving unit, and fill it up with books or heavy items that you already own. That will actually add density your side of the wall, and sometimes that's enough to dull voices or TV frequencies by a noticeable amount. And if you want to take this a step further and you don't care too much about looks, a cheap moving blanket can absorb some of that TV noise before it even gets to the gap. That's not a seal, just extra absorption, and those are like 10 to 15 bucks. So if you want to throw one up, it can help a little bit more for airborne TV noise, stuff like that. So yeah, for around $50, let's say you want to soundproof a room for $100, that's all you have. It's not cheap budget, but we'll do it. Video right there, soundproofing a room for $100. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, assuming you subscribed.